And it works on any fear or any abuse. If someone was abused by an authority figure, and that is haunting them because it was a truth to them, they can remove that haunting feeling of being abused when they were little or anything like that, or ill feelings. If you have ill feelings about yourself, and how this happens is when a child is young and the parent tells them they're stupid, they're ignorant, they're fat, they're unintelligent, they're not smart. All those haunting verbal commands by a parent or authority figure that is haunting a person can be removed immediately. So no one should have any ill thoughts. You have to bring the fear to the surface or else it won't work.
Welcome back to our show, Empower Your Life. I'm your host, Cindy Marie. Our next guest is a student of Golden Ones. The Golden Ones are the co-creators of God's and Earth's spiritual training school administrators. He himself experienced the appearance of the Golden Ones during his meditation session at his place. Now, you might be wondering, what are these Golden Ones? Luckily, that we have our next guest to bring us the journey of understanding all about these Golden Ones and the other teachings that he has with none other than our next guest, Tim Doyle. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Cindy. Thank you very much. Very nice introduction. The Golden Ones, I started my meditation back when I was 21, and I started to have some very unique experiences during my meditation. Mm-hmm. Well, during one meditation, my mind's eye lit up like a television set, and this golden light being appeared to me. It was back in 1983, and he presented me with a necklace. It floated between him and me, and it's in my mind's eye, and he put it around my neck, and there was a tingling sensation in my body. It was 1983. Mm-hmm. Then I'm in New Zealand in 2012, Southern New Zealand, and I'm in meditation, and a group of spiritual beings joined me. I didn't see him like I saw the original one. The original one, I saw him in his golden garbs, his sashes around his waist, he was just a beautiful, radiating gold being. This was just a group of beings I saw in my mind's eye, like you would visualize something like eating an apple. You'd have that vision in your mind. So they walked in, and I said, "Who are you?" And they says, "We come to join you." I says, "Oh, okay." Mm-hmm. So that was in, I believe it was October of 2012. Well, in January of 2013, just 3 months later, I was back in my home in upstate New York, and I do Kundalini yoga in the morning. And I was doing my asana, and I always talk to my teachers. This may sound funny, but they have always talked to me. In the first occasion they talked to me, I remember when I was about 12 years old, I was scared of the dark. I thought there was a boogeyman under my bed, or there was somebody in my closet. And I get this thought: change your thoughts and you'll change your reality. Think of something fun. Mm-hmm. I thought, wow, that's pretty good. So I started thinking about a roller coaster and being at like a circus atmosphere. And I went to sleep. So I've always kind of like had this conversation with I call them my loved ones, or my teachers. So during my asana in February of 2013, they told me some things. And I would joke with them saying, sure, all right, I'll believe it when it happens. And about 2 days later, they wake me up at 2:30 in the morning. I get up at 3:30 to do my asana. They woke me up at 2:30. They said, go to the computer, and whatever you hear, just type it. So I went to my computer, and I started typing whatever I heard in my mind. I started typing, and I got to the end. I read it, and I says, well, I can't sign my name to this. How should I sign it? They said, sign it the Golden Ones. I said, okay. And so that's the first time I was introduced to these teachers as the Golden Ones in February of 2013. So what happened is every day after that, for the next month, they would wake me up at 2:30. I would go to my computer and they would channel something else for me to write. But whatever they told me, Cindy, I would have to experience it for that day. So it's like I had to authenticate what they were saying. I had to prove that what they were telling me, I had to experience it so I could say, well, this is true. This is actually true. So anything that is written on the website that is written, there's many videos and there's many teachings. Everything comes from the Golden Ones, and it's what they channeled and what I have experienced or what I have been taught in all the classes I have taken since I say classes I have taken, they have guided me to do all these experiences. And I thought that maybe that's something why I did want to do it. But I guess I can see now where I was guided to have that expertise to just to have a benchmark of who I am and what I did and so forth. So I must explain something. I got coronavirus maybe about a month ago. And one of the side effects of the coronavirus is my memory. There's certain things I cannot remember. And it's like words, I have trouble with certain words. I have to think about it. Like the word authenticity. That's the word I was thinking about, authenticity. And for some reason, I couldn't spit it out the first time. And I just want to say that there are words, if I stumble through words through this, it's just because I don't use them too often in my memory. And I spoke to other people. I'm in China. I spoke to other people in China, and my son in the United States suffered from the same thing during the coronavirus, where they lost their memory. They couldn't remember things. And it's just a side effect of the coronavirus. So if anyone's experiencing the coronavirus, supposedly it doesn't last. It may last maybe for a couple of months, but I can tell my memory is coming back little by little. There's other things that my body went through too, but that hasn't come back. But my memory is coming back too. So I apologize if I stumble through words, but anything that is channeled through me, I have to authenticate that the truth of it is that it is the truth, and I have to feel it's the truth, and not just that, well, they told me this, so it must be true. No, I have to experience it, and I have to believe in what I am writing to be the truth coming from the Golden Ones.
So with that journey, so thank you so much for sharing your journey in relate to the experience of your Golden Ones. And for those people who don't know Golden Ones, can you let us know what are you exactly referring to the Golden Ones spiritually and logically?
Okay. I had, back in 2000, I didn't know if Earth was a prison or if we came here by choice or we were condemned to come to Earth. So in 2000, I went to Peru with the guidance of my teachers, and I did the ayahuasca. I don't know if anybody knows what the ayahuasca is. Cindy, have you ever heard of the ayahuasca?
No, so tell me, please.
Okay, you go to Peru and you work with the shamans. They're there for 10 days and they prepare a mixture. There's a ceremony. We did 6 ceremonies, and you drink this mixture of plant medicine. And I was guided to go there by my teachers. I didn't know I was drinking. I was surprised when I got there and I found out I had to drink something. And this mixture tastes like dirty oil. and they give you maybe about, it looked like maybe about 3 to 4 ounces of this. And you go up one by one in front of the shamans, and it's a ceremony. It's a very special spiritual ceremony. And you drink this, God forbidden, awful tasting drink, and you go back and sit down. And 20 minutes later, you sort of, in your mind, you just spiral to another place. And you forget that you're in Peru and you're experiencing something. And so the ceremonies last for about 6 hours. We start at 9 o'clock at night. It lasts for about 6 hours. And the first half of the ceremony is to go through and cleanse your body, your light body and past experiences, and to clean your mental, and I won't say light body out, I'll leave that for later, but just to clear your consciousness out of things that has happened in the past that needed to be corrected. And then after 3 hours, if you had any questions, spiritual questions in your mind, a vision will come, just like the vision of the golden ones when they came to me. A vision comes into your mind, and what they showed me is I'm sitting in a throne like a king. I have a scepter in my left hand, and I have a power stick in my right hand resting on my lap. I'm dressed in golden robes. I've got a crown on my head. And then in front of me, I'm in the universe. Like millions of stars are in front of me. And then the hand of God comes across the screen and it points to a little bitty star down in the right-hand corner of my vision. And it says choice. So it was telling me that I came here to Earth. I earned the right to come here to Earth. And that's all I know is coming to Earth was a choice. So then my golden ones taught me that Earth is a spiritual training school. The golden ones are co-creator gods. Every soul coming to Earth is training to become a co-creator God. They come here because they achieve the highest possible achievement from their solar planet, from their star system, wherever it is in the Milky Way, that they are chosen to come to Earth. They have to be approved by the Galactic Council. You just don't come here. You have to be approved. You have to be recommended and approved to come to Earth and train to be a co-creator God and service to serve God with your whole heart, soul, mind, and body out of love for the oneness of creation. So then this started to make sense to me. It resonated, and it went back to my vision back in doing the ayahuasca that kind of confirmed that I must have had some sort of a status to come to Earth. And so I sometimes lose track. And so they are the co-creator gods. And what they teach me is how a soul to help souls on their spiritual path, all right? They taught me about the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the things to heal the body, how to remove fears off of your light body. You have a light body, how to manifest, how to make sure that your manifestations come in to become a reality and so forth, and the ingredients for our manifestations. So all these things they have taught me, among other things, like things I've experienced, like there's no such thing as ghosts. They're trapped souls. There's souls here that are trapped. What happens is we have free will when we come here. And this is very important right here, Cindy. When we come here, this is a training school and we have free will. We're here and we can experience anything in this school because the purpose of the school is to learn wisdom. And you learn wisdom by trial and error. So if you're doing something and it doesn't work out, you know, it's not wrong or anything like that. There's no such thing as sin. You have karma. And the karma is created when you do something against another. It's the only time you create karma is when you offend another person. So keep that in mind, because we're all brothers and sisters in life. We're all brothers and sisters, and it's a oneness of creation. All the star systems out there, all the entities and other star systems and solar systems, we're all oneness. And what happens is we are trading. I don't know if most people know this. There are, in our Milky Way galaxy, there's hundreds of billions of stars, and each star is a solar system. Now, the Milky Way galaxy is just one of hundreds of thousands of galaxies. So what's out there is trillions and trillions of solar systems out there. And what they need is they need co-creator gods to govern those planets. And so souls come here to learn how to become a co-creator so they can go forth and assist in other planetary systems and become governing forces, like the co-creator gods came here and they're governing Earth, that the souls here, once they ascend, they will go to another star system and be the governing force there. So everybody here is training to become a co-creator God. But see, what happens is when you come here, you forget everything you have achieved in the past. And so there's 3 stages of I'll say training. There's the ego stage, where when a soul comes here, they have no reference. They don't know what's right, what's wrong. They only know they need to survive. So they may steal, they may rob, they may take advantage of other people. They may abuse other people. They may rape. They may be greedy. They just need power. They want power. So this explains, if we look at our Earth here and our political and banking system, we can say we know there's corruption in our government. We know there's corruption in the banking system, but these are just souls that are new souls to the planet, new souls to the planet that are in power, but eventually they will be removed, because we're in the golden age now. It started on 22 December 2012. We moved into the 5th dimension, and it started the golden age, where souls no longer have to die. If you think you're going to die, that's your belief system. You don't have to die. If you live life out of love, and your thoughts are pure, and you want to help others, and you've overcome the ego, you've moved past the I call it the egoic stage of soul development, and then you've got the spiritual man stage of soul development, and you're moving into the co-creative God of stage of environment, where your consciousness is always filled with love and cooperation and compassion for others and so forth. Then there's no need to die. You die because you might have to change genders, or you may not have achieved something in your life. Maybe you're missing something. Then you have to go back to school, die, and come back under new parents and learn something. So of course there's reincarnation and so forth. But we now do not have to die. And I say this because 30 years ago, my teachers told me, you'll never die. And at the time, I kind of laughed at them, because this is when I was just barely meditating, and I was outside looking at the sky and the tree, and I was looking at how the changes in nature was taken. And they said, you'll never die. And I kind of laughed at that time, thinking everybody dies. But now, through the years, with what I have experienced, and my teachers coming in and channeling their teachings to me and so forth, I see it as a real reality that you don't have to die. And I shared some information with you about keeping your body healthy and cleaning your light body and protecting yourself from negative energy and so forth. So the golden ones are co-creator gods, preparing us for our ascensions, and we have to learn to work together out of love, and always keep loving thoughts towards everyone, no matter what they have done to you. Always be loving and go to forgiveness. Forgiveness is the key to for longevity, and we can talk about that later if you want. But yeah, forgiveness is very important, because we've all done things in the early stages of our spiritual development. We've all went through the ego stage where we were selfish and greedy and we wanted power. We abused people. And then in the spiritual stage, we might have been a little bit nicer, but we still did some things that were not correct. We might have stole some money, or we might have cheated on someone, and we've done that. But now that we're in the co-creator stage of soul development, every thought, word, and deed, we have to come into the realization that we have to be godlike in every moment. And when we're godlike in every moment, then we're just working towards our ascension and helping other people to become who they need to become.
Yeah.
The spiritual training school.
That's amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that, because that's actually just nice and perfect for the next question that I'm about to ask you. Because you are already been doing these teachings, including the path to oneness. And in reality, right, there are people who don't believe with such things as what we are discussing. And there are people who truly believe, obviously like me. This is why I am interviewing you, because we resonate. And you've been doing these teachings. So my curiosity is that I know that there are some people out there, due to desperation, sorry to say that, but because they have tried all the technical stuff, all the practices that meant for brain, meant for mind, that they believe will work. But then I believe you have experienced this with your clients, if that's how you call it, or students. They reach out to you. I have tried everything, and some reason I don't get the sense of purpose in life. So I want you to tackle what exactly teachings that you are sharing to your students who reach out to you to have that moment of embracing the path to oneness and the golden ones in their lives.
Good question. See, Earth is a spiritual training school.
Yeah.
So the purposes here is everyone is in training to become a co-creator God. So what's a God? What's a God? What does God hate? Does God have ill feelings towards another? Does God not forgive? Think about the things of what God does, and that's what a person has to do in this spiritual training school. So, when God created man, he created them as male and female. Now, you usually, and I know 90% of the time, a female is their feelings. They operated out of their feelings. What they feel is right. A male uses logic. What he believes is right. So what happens is, in a relationship, a man and a woman have to work together to compromise on her feelings and his logic. Now, I will tell you that in the spiritual training school, the goddess, every woman is a goddess, whether she doesn't believe that or not. But if the female embraces that she is a goddess, that the power of a goddess will come to her through universal mind because she believes she's a goddess. Now, there's certain things a goddess does, and there's certain things a god does. A god always supports the goddess. That's number one. The god always pleases the goddess, and physically, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and I won't say sexually because that's spiritual. He always pleases her to make sure she feels happy in every moment. And when the goddess is happy, she'll make the god happy. She'll please the god. That's not taught in the world. That goes back. This was the way life was 11,000 years ago before there was a natural disaster on the planet. And the golden ones left then because the vibration of the earth was too low for the golden ones to stay. And that's why they didn't come back until 21 December 2012, right when Earth moved from a third dimension reality to a fifth dimension reality. So then the vibration of the earth was strong enough where the golden ones could return to Earth and continue their teachings. But a goddess needs to embrace who it is she is. And when she does, and there's rules for a goddess never, all a goddess has to do, if she wants something, all she has to do is ask. That's all she has to ask. She either asks her male partner, her husband, her boyfriend. If she doesn't have one, she'll ask her guardian angel. Now, guardian angels and teachers cannot help you because we have free will, and so they cannot interfere with your free will until you ask them. So you need to ask your guardian angel if you want something, and you have to ask your teachers if you want something. If you have a dream, or if you have a desire, you don't go chase it. A goddess never chases energy. A goddess never chases energy. She lets the energy come to her. Very important for a female goddess to understand it. She doesn't have to be. She just has to be who she is, and everything will come to her instead of chasing it. I don't know if you understand it or not, Cindy, okay? And if you need clarifications on that, we can talk about that. But that's what a goddess has to do. If she was looking for a man in her life, all she has to do is at bed at nighttime before she goes to sleep, just ask her guardian angels and her teachers to bring the man in her life that is the best God that she could ever find. And that God will come to her. She doesn't have to go chasing after it. Now, a God, all he has to do is please the goddess. This is number one priority. By pleasing her, everything will come in alignment with his life by pleasing his goddess. Things just happen. Universal mind will support the desires and the manifestations and dreams that the God has, because the God is attempting to please his goddess. So his dreams and manifestations will come into a reality because he's working in alignment, that knowing he's a God and he deserves, as a God, I deserve the best in my life. I tell the God, I always get what I ask for. If I want something, I just tell my teachers, this is what I want. I always get what I want. I may not get it in a moment or 2 moments, but maybe in a day or two, I get what I want. So a God work towards, if he's supporting a goddess, he has to align his energy for the welfare of his goddess, and universal mind will support him. I say universal mind will support him. Let me explain how a creation takes place. So you have to, first of all, you have to have an intention. You have to say, I want a car. And then you have to have it. Why do you want it? You want it because it's going to make you attend your work. And then you have to put an energy into it. And then you put a feeling into it. You can feel yourself driving a new car. Now, if you know it's going to happen, and you're just waiting for it to happen, what you do is you send that in your conscious mind, you create it. You send this energy to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind works with universal mind to synchronize the manifestation of your dreams or your desires. Now, if there is any doubt in your mind that this manifestation or your dream is not going to materialize, universal mind will say, well, she's a goddess in training and she doesn't believe she's going to get what she needs. It won't come to you. You cannot have any doubt that you're going to receive what it is you desire. If there's any doubt or if there's any disbelief, it won't materialize. And if it doesn't materialize, yes, go ahead.
Let me cut you first before you proceed, because I think it's very important to share to people when we are manifesting a desire or dreams or goal. I want to share this, that it's important that you're not only wishing without doing something. So we have to create, I don't know if when you said about energy, that meant for do the work, because there are a lot of people that believing, wishing, desiring, and just sitting to have a car. I don't think that will happen. Will it be happening?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Well, I want to challenge you on that, because in my actual life journey is that I've been doing everything what I can to make sure that I am aligning to my desire, because if we can pray, right? I believe in praying, I believe in manifestation, but help me to understand deeper that at this point, I cannot say that I'm agreeing that we are just sitting here wishing for a car to appear, for a car to happen without doing the work. So.
Okay, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
Back in 2005, it was a beautiful home my wife wanted, and it was extremely expensive. And we went to the house, and in my mind, I thought, do I want it or not? And she wanted it really bad. And because she wanted it really bad, I got the feeling that I will get it for her. I made the commitment. I committed my energy to please her, okay? So when I committed my energy to please her, I had to go through the ropes. I had to fill out the paperwork. The important thing was a bank loan, because the house was over $1 million. So in my salary probably, I could have justified it, because I was living in a home, I could have sold and stuff and stuff. So we went through a broker, and he says, I can't get anybody to loan you that money. I says, okay. I says, I'll go someplace else. So I went to 2 other sources because I was determined. I knew I was going to get the house. I didn't know how I was going to get it, but I knew I was going to get the house for my wife. And if this guy could not get it for me, I will find someone else to work with me to do it. I eventually found the right person, went to the right bank, had no problem. The loan was approved, and we got the house. But I know what you're saying. There's work that has to be done. Now, with a goddess, I did the work, okay? I made the commitment to get the house for my wife. She didn't have to do anything. All she had to do was support me. If I said, so-and-so, listen, here's where we are. I'm having difficulties here. What do you think? And she'll say, well, how about doing this? I said, okay, let me try that. So I used her energy and her support to guide me through what I needed to do to secure what it was I wanted to do for her. All right. So I would say for the ladies out there, if they're in a committed relationship and she wants something, they have to be reasonable now. All right. My wife at the time, she was reasonable. If I told her, I says, I'm sorry, this is way out of our league, she would have said, oh, okay, that's okay. So you have to be reasonable in what you want to manifest and what you want to manifest and dream and create. And there's got to be discernment. You have to use discernment and a reality check.
Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying, Cindy, and that's true, huh? You have to do the work. But if you have a partner, and if I was a female and I had a partner, I would tell him what I want. All right. And I would help him achieve what it is I wanted. And I'm not saying this not to cause any rifts in any relationships or anything, but the purpose of a male is to support the male God is to please his goddess. That's one of the major rules here. And that's not being done. And I can tell you it's not being done. And the female energy is being misused throughout the planet only because the female hasn't stepped up to claim her power. There used to be like that before. Before about 12,000 years ago, women used to govern the earth. They had their own territories. They governed out of love for their people. They were in peace with each territory because it was for the benefit of their people to be in peace, and they worked together out of love. And I don't know if there's any female political leaders out there right now in front of a country that is doing that for her people. I don't know. I can't think of any offhand, and I don't know all the female world leaders, but I don't know. I know in the United States, there's a couple of people that are governors or trying to be governors that do it for their people. And that's only because they do it out of love. They do it out of love for the people. And that's what makes you successful. And because they do it from their feelings. Now, your feelings, your feelings are in your third chakra. Your third chakra is your solar plexus. It's right below the navel, around the navel area. And so that's where your feelings come from. So you have to feel when you want something, you can't use your mind. You've got to use your feelings to feel, is this what I want? Is this what I want? And then you go into discernment and a reality check. I want this. Is it capable and so forth? So a female goddess uses her feelings to feel what the right thing to do is. So I'm sure you make many right decisions, don't you, Cindy?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to mention again how important we are talking about the relationship, and even so for individual that first thing for relationship main work or job for female or goddess is to please them. And so for men to work things out for you as the female or the goddess is to support them. And I mean, I have my husband. So for a couple or in a relationship out there, what Tim is trying to say is that, as what he said, don't just ask for the sake of asking because of all of your interests or all of your, I don't know, what do you call, like following your expensive stuff. But what we are trying to say here is that when you're manifesting something that you truly desire, that beyond external stuff, the best thing that we can do as goddess is to support them in a sense that with love and light, oh, let me see if I can help you. Let me know what else I can help you to get there. Because what's happening right now in the relationship is more of oh, you don't understand me. Oh, you're so busy. But we're not really understanding that man of yours actually doing something for you, but you don't communicate in a place with love and light and understanding. Because this is what, over time, just to share with you my relationship with my husband, in the beginning we're always clashing because we are totally different human beings. I'm a very independent. That's how I came from. I built my own. And so having this person with me that ready to support me, it's just like a new thing for me. It's a foreign thing. So it's kind of shocked. But then over time, I realized, hey, there's something good about that. And for us to really work on our relationship is to support one another. And I see what you're saying, that every man or gods out there really want to make the goddess or goddesses to feel empowered and to support. And as this is just truly my experience, is to give them the power of being a man, that they will do the thing, and at the same time give them the love, because by the end of the day we all deserve the love. And when we truly give that, it just so light, it's so full of love, that it feels that we can do it together. The oneness. It's so interesting, the oneness. And with that kind of communication or relationship between God and goddess in our real world, it's very important to have a communication in a more deep, honest and openness, because without that we feel, and I think you would agree that we will feel the disconnection. We will feel the differences, whereby if we always meet in the middle with love and compassion, we will feel oneness. And for individual, it's the same. You manifest the person who you want to attract with. And I love it. I think we've been talking about the love, forgiveness, and the oneness. And speaking of this next question that I have for you, with the distractions that we have outside, one's kind of feeling overwhelmed, right? Because you want to pursue something, but you have a desire inside, but you just don't know how to share that to people because of that fear of everything else. We can talk about the list of what fear you have, but my question to you now is how to remove fears immediately from our subconscious mind and light and body.
Very good question, and very easy to do. Fear is like taking a bad picture on your camera. When you take a photo on your camera and it's a bad photo, you can go in and delete it immediately. True?
True.
True, right. So fear is the same thing. When a fear gets into your subconscious mind, you captured something, you captured a fear, and it's in your subconscious mind. And so all you do is go in and take it off. Now, I'll tell you how the fear gets there in the first place. Your conscious mind, you have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind. The responsibility of the conscious mind is to verify everything that goes into the subconscious mind. Right? So the subconscious mind just stores information. It stores everything it believes to be the truth, because the conscious mind put it into the subconscious mind. So how does a fear get into your subconscious mind? So Cindy, let's say, for example, you go for swimming lessons, all right? And when you first start going into swimming lessons, you accidentally go in the deep end first and you almost drown. Someone saves you. So that experience seemed very true to you. that you are afraid of water. So now what you have done is you've taken that truth that Cindy believes that she fears water. So that fear goes into your subconscious mind as a fear of water. You can use it as a fear of snakes, height, anything that you have a bad experience, and that is now in your subconscious mind, and you live for that fear. Maybe you, when you were 8 years old, this happened, and now a couple of years later, you still have this fear. So it's very simple to do. Do you have a fear you want to go through and remove a fear right now?
You just mentioned it, the water. I mean, okay. I can, for me, for as long as I have the safety vest for swimming in a deeper ocean, something like that, I have no fear. But if just my body and myself, oof, my fear is just all over my body. So yeah, we can talk about that. I am happy to overcome and to remove that.
All right, see, this is how my teachers work. I could have picked any fear, but they know that you would identify with a fear of water, all right? So they guided me to use that example, all right?
Nice.
I didn't know it was yours, all right? So here's what we do. So the fears in your subconscious mind, and we have many fears there, many fears, and they're all just running around loose. So we have to bring the fear to our conscious mind to remove it. We can't just say, okay, I want to remove the fear of water. No, because that's just is too loose. We have to feel the fear. So what you put your left hand above your navel on your solar plex. Can you do it right now? So we need to remove this fear of water from you, all right?
Okay.
So the fears in your subconscious, which is your solar plexus, the third chakra. So put your left hand above your navel.
Here?
Down here, left hand above the navel, all right? Your right hand on your heart.
So you can see it, okay, here.
Okay. Right hand on the heart, right hand. Okay. Now, Cindy, you have to feel the fear. Out of all the fears in your subconscious, you have to bring this fear to the surface of your conscious mind. So you have to activate it. Huh?
No, I'm closing my eyes so I can imagine it.
That's okay.
All right, go on.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
This feeling is not mine.
This feeling is not mine.
This feeling does not belong to me.
This feeling does not belong to me.
I release this feeling in love.
I release this fear in love, with love.
Now and forever.
Now and forever.
Amen.
Amen.
Cindy, try and find that fear.
Okay. I'm going to share it with everyone. No, I'm going to share with you. I'm going to share with you what I have experienced. It's
okay.
Because it may sound crazy to other people, but I don't care. What I have imagined when I search for that fear of water, you know what I'm seeing is that I am swimming in a happy face. That's why I'm laughing. So I guess my how do you call it? It's very in tune. I think you can say that. When I surrender myself for you to say with me those phrases, and for me to embrace that phrases and surrender and accept that, the possibilities, and connect with that, just trying to search the fear of water. And that's what I can see. Me swimming on the ocean, very happy. So I'm looking forward for that. So yeah, for everyone listening or watching right now, yes, it may sound crazy, but hey, This is my experience.
Cindy, I teach this technique around the world to thousands of people, and it always works instantaneously. That there's no reason why anyone should fear anything. They can remove it just like that off their light body. That's simple. But the key is you have to bring the fear to the surface, or else it won't work. You can't just say, well, this fear, I release this feel out of love. What feeling? You gotta bring the feeling up and feel the fear. And it works on any fear or any abuse. If someone was abused by an authority figure, and that is haunting them because it was a truth to them, they can remove that haunting feeling of being abused when they were little or anything like that, or ill feelings. If you have ill feelings about yourself. And how this happens is when a child is young and the parent tells them they're stupid, they're ignorant, they're fat, they're unintelligent, they're not smart. All those haunting verbal commands by a parent or authority figure that is haunting a person can be removed immediately. So no one should have any ill thoughts being projected on them by another.
I love that you reiterate that you have to feel the fear.
You have to.
So that what you have mentioned, the phrases will be as powerful for people to remove that immediately. Love it. So that's very, very valuable. And I'm sure that a lot of people watching or listening right now will be so curious to experiment to themselves. But don't forget, feel the fear. Right?
Now, on my website, on the home page of my website, I did a video. It's a 2-minute video doing just what you and I did right here. And I spent just explaining how it works and what they have to do. So if they go in and watch the video, if they want to double check what it is, of course they can do that too. A 2-minute video.
Awesome.
In fact, I think I sent the video to you too.
What I no, not sure. I received 3 links, but it's a different thing. But I know that the first or the second time that we have a conversation, you have let me experience that as well before. So, but this time it's different scenario or different situation. So what I'm gonna do, because I think that's very, very valuable practice, and removing the fears immediately, what everyone loves to do, instant. So I'm gonna put that link on my blog and also on the podcast, so people can experiment themselves and remember, if there's a resistance, that means, correct me if I'm wrong, that we don't experience the fear in real time.
Say that again, please.
No, what I'm saying is that if there's a resistance, it means that we didn't put or feel the fear in real time, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. Moving to positive energy. And for most of people who don't know Tim Doyle, he's been practicing, he's been doing a lot of this meditation, all of these practices that will enlighten us, awaken our body, and connect with our inner conscious. So I would love to ask you, Tim, apart from all of those things that you have been practicing, doing all of this chakras, meditation, in this busy world, full of distraction, where everyone loves to have, just like what we did, instant fear removal. What is your other tips or practices that maybe you can share with us, that when you catch or caught yourself being so stressed, in anxiety, in depression, do you have anything that practices perhaps that will help other people out there to get that instant, not happiness, but like just to change that feeling from anxiety or depression or negative energy to something more helpful for them in these busy days?
Yeah. We go back to reiterating this is a spiritual training school.
Mm-hmm.
Every person has a training plan. It's orchestrated by Universal Mind. Cindy has a plan. The Universal Mind knows every thought, word, deed, and action you have committed in your entire life in this training school. Mm-hmm. So anything that happens to Cindy is for her own spiritual development, so she can learn wisdom, or it's for Cindy to repay a karmic debt. So if anything happens, if Cindy has a challenging situation, she has to stop and say, okay, what's my lesson here? And ask your teachers, okay, what am I supposed to learn here? What's my lesson? And it could be, it could be just missing an interview, a live interview late on a Friday night, and to see how you handle it. All right. Mm-hmm. So everything is orchestrated, and for each person based on their thoughts, words, and deeds, based on their spiritual soul development, the wisdom they have and the wisdom they need to learn for their ascension. And thrown in there is karma. And karma is thrown in there to repay something that needs to be repaid. I had a situation a couple of years ago. I had someone, a dear friend, my best friend, come into my home and steal something very valuable out of my home. And I had to stop and think, wow, what's my lesson in this? And of course I was upset. I mean, it was like, the nerve of this person, but I had to go to forgiveness, because nothing can happen to me unless I committed an act against another. What you do unto others will be done unto you. The law, universal law of cause and effect. If I cause you harm, the universe will have someone cause me harm. So I understand that, I shouldn't have done that. That's how the universe trains us. So I had to go to forgiveness, not for that person. I had to forgive myself for what I did initially to cause that to happen to me. So it's not like, I have to forgive my friend. Yeah, of course I did. I forgive him. But I had to go back and say, wow, what did I do to cause that? Who did I steal from? We don't remember what we've done from a previous life. So we just go to forgiveness. And I think that's in the Our Father. Forgive them for their trespasses, as they don't know what they trespass against me. Forgive me for my trespasses, for those who trespass against me. I trespass, so you ask for forgiveness for yourself. Because what we have in our body, Cindy, and this is part of everlasting life and not needing to die, when we commit a transgression against another, that transgression is recorded in our body. It creates a negative imprint at cellular level in our body that we have to release. And we release it out of love for others, compassion, or we release it in forgiveness when something happens to us, and we go and we forgive ourselves, because no one, it goes back to the teachings of Jesus. Whose sins you shall forgive, they are forgiven. When you forgive another, your sins are forgiven. Whose sins you shall retain, they are retained. Jesus taught when something happens to you, you forgive. If you can't forgive that person, then your sins are not forgiven. So when you forgive another, your sins are forgiven. And if you can't forgive them, then your sins are not forgiven. So we always go to forgiveness to clear the negative imprint and cellular levels in our body so our body remains pure and healthy.
I love it. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. The power of forgiving, forgiving ourselves, especially because most of us, especially in Asia, we tend to give away to other people first than forgiving ourselves. So thank you for reminding us about forgiveness, which I actually had conversation with one of the guests in Empower Your Life show. It's amazing how powerful it is. Love and compassion. So, Tim, unfortunately, this is the last at this point our conversation, right? And I'm sure there are a lot of people out there found our conversation truly valuable, especially for those people who feel lost, stuck, and having a lot of doubts in their lives that they're not able to pursue having the purpose of life that they're looking for. So my question is, where can us or everyone can find you and maybe to be your student in your teachings?
Well, I have a website, not my website. It's the website is called www.thepathtowoneness.com. Mm-hmm. There's many videos on there. There's many products. There's 3 books. All the products are free. We don't charge for anything. We do astrology charts that are the best astrology numerology reports in the world, extremely accurate. And we charge just a small fee because we manually do those. But all the products are free. I do free consultation. If someone wants to have a consultation with me, I do free consultations to assist. And so the website is the most important thing, www.pathtowoneness.com. And everything on there is all the teachings we talked about today, plus some are there for anyone's interested in to assist them on their spiritual path.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Tim. Before I let you go, I have one simple question that you don't have to elaborate, but just simple and precise answer. In this busy life, once again, to find that path of meaning and purpose in life, what will you give someone an advice who feel lost?
If they feel lost, I would tell them, sit down, light a candle, and ask their higher self to guide them in their thinking. Nice. See, it's like you can't help anyone unless they ask for your advice. And so your teachers cannot help you unless the person asks for their advice. So I would light a candle, go into a silent place where they won't be disturbed, and ask their teachers to assist me.
Wonderful. I love that. So everyone out there who's watching or listening right now, if you feel resonated with this conversation and you would like to find more about the services or programs or products that Tim Doyle's providing on his website, go check the Path Oneness, right? .com?
Yes, thepathtowoneness.com.
All right.
All one word.
All one word. Yes, and I'm gonna put that as well on my blog and on the podcast as well. And so let us know what you think of this conversation or in this episode. And I will be very happy if you find this conversation very valuable. And if you would love, once again, to see Tim Doyle in our episode here in Empower Your Life, feel free to comment, and I will definitely bring Tim once again in our conversation into a different topic. So, Tim, thank you so much for sharing your positivity, your great light and love in this episode. Really, really grateful and feeling privileged for experiencing what we have discussed today.
Cindy, thank you very much for inviting the Golden Ones and myself into your podcast. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much. And until next time, thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that interview, and I hope you find it inspiring and motivating. Remember, stay optimistic and keep taking action slowly but surely for your big dreams. Thank you once again, and I'll see you on the next episode here at Empower Your Life.